そうですね、次戦9月頃、ここ隣にいるサム・グッドマンと、防衛戦をしていきたいと、これから交渉していきたいと思います。
I would love to go into the negotiation
一言だけお願いし
to
ます。
fight against Sam Goodman in September.
Look, I've been mandatory for over a year. Either give up the belts or fight me. Let's get it on.
What's up, this is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. Now, who's ready for some fighting words? In this video, I want to talk about Naoya Inoue versus Sam Goodman. Really quick, if you like the videos, please take the time, subscribe to the channel. It takes one click. Also, hit the thumbs up button. It does help. It shows love and it supports this channel. And please, I see what some of you have been doing, and I'm going to ask the rest of you to do the same thing. Please circulate the videos. Let everybody know that Fighting Words is here. Let everybody know that there's a more comprehensive way of looking at boxing. Spread the videos, share the videos, and for the ones who have and the ones who will be, thank you. So let's jump into this. We're going to start off with power. Who's got more power? Is it Sam Goodman or is it Naoya Inoue? Easily, Naoya Inoue. It's not even in question. He has the power. He has the power. Sam Goodman, you know, like I think he has respectable power. I think if he hits you, you know he's there. But do I think he can slow anybody down? Like, no. Do I think is he knocking anybody out? No. Can he slow you down? I think that you will think before you rush in on Sam Goodman, but I don't think he has the type of power that's putting anybody away or making anybody stagger back to the corner or anything of that nature. We're clearly talking about the monster when we're speaking about power. Got to give him the point for that. Boxing IQ. Come on, this guy is a two-time undisputed world champion. Naoya Inoue. Boxing IQ through the roof. Faced all kinds of styles. The top level, face guys with belts, top level, also face undefeated guys. You got to give it to Naoya Inoue. Like Sam Goodman, but you're not in the same space with Naoya Inoue. Let's see. Speed, Naoya Inoue. I think they both have fast hands, but Naoya Inoue has fast feet as well. I think he has fast instincts as well. I think he's just an overall fast twitch type of guy. And I think he's very fast in his counter punching as well. I just think overall he's fast. I think Sam Goodman has fast hands, and I think because he's a defensive guy first, I do think he's fast, but I think it's more about timing. And because Sam Goodman is not going to put himself in harm's way. Like, he's just not going to put himself in harm's way. It doesn't really require that much speed because he's clearly gauging distance, but he is very fast with his hands. I'll give him that in terms of his coordination. Let's see. Defense. Who has better defense? So I just mentioned that Sam Goodman was a more defensive guy. To my knowledge, he's never been down. Naoya Inoue has been down. More defensive, I'd probably say Sam Goodman. I think he, like I said, because that's his nature. He's not he's not the type of guy who's going to rush into a fire. He's just not going to do that. And because of that, I think he's more defensive. I think he's very conscious of distance at all times. And I think he's very conscious of where he is in the fight. And when I mean where he is in the fight, I mean in terms of, you know, am I winning? Does this guy still have a lot of steam left in him? Is this guy, you know, is he slowing down? You know, he's a very aware of tempo, you know, because he's a defensive guy first. He's very, very, very aware of tempo. And you look at Naoya Inoue, he takes risk. And that takes risk as well because, you know, you just can't be throwing your arms any old place. But he's a very risk-taking type of guy. So it's not that Naoya Inoue doesn't have great defense. He has very sound defense. I'm not saying he doesn't. He has very sound and well-rounded defense. But what I am saying is that because of the way Sam Goodman fights and because of his defensive nature first, self-preservation, I would give him defense. Mental toughness. Who's more mentally tough? Well, I think this is obvious. You have a guy who's a two-time undisputed world champion versus a guy who's not. Like, Naoya Inoue, you know, he's the monster. You know, like, come on. Like, it's pretty obvious who's more mentally tough. You know how tough you have to be to say, okay, I'm 140 pounds. So if I say I want to go up to welterweight, well, they're 147. I got to be pretty tough because I already know off the top of my head they're bigger than me. And I know they hit harder than me. All right, and at that weight, they still have speed as well. So it's not as if, like I'm going to be the Flash in there and, they're going to be regular guys. No, we're going to be around the same speed and they're going to hit harder. So now Naoya Inoue has done that twice. And he's accepted the challenge. He's risen up and he's walked through victoriously. Yeah, mental toughness. Let's see. Body work. Who's a better body puncher? Naoya Inoue. I think he's a better body puncher. I think in order for you to throw body shots and be a sustained body puncher, you have to have a commitment to placement. You have to have a commitment to moving forward. You have to have a commitment to closing the distance. You have to have a commitment. You can put a shot here. You can, almost like installments in a bank account. You can put installments and you can say, all right, round 1, I'm going to put 2 down there. Round 3, I'm going to put 4 down there. Round 5, I'm going to put 2 more. You can put installments, and then in round 10, I'm really going to go for it. I'm really going to lay it on heavy. Okay, or you could say, no, I'm going to attack the body. That's where I think he's soft. That's where I think he's weak. He doesn't look like he does a lot of sit-ups. Naoya Inoue is a body puncher. He will attack the body full on, steam ahead. While you look at Sam Goodman, he's not going to do that. He definitely isn't going to do it in the opening rounds. By round 5, he might lighten up and open up and be a little bit more loose and fluid with his punches. But they're still going to start to the top and they'll find their way downtown. While you look at Naoya Inoue, he will start downtown and sometimes work his way up to the top. Got to give it to Naoya Inoue. Let's see. Range work. Okay, so where are these guys better? Well, you look at Sam Goodman, he's better on the outside. It's not to say he's a slouch on the inside, but I personally think if he's to even be competitive in this fight, he needs to be on the outside. He doesn't need to be on the inside. I do think it would benefit him to be on the inside only because he's bigger than Naoya Inoue. Sam Goodman is not a small guy. So he can muscle Naoya, around. Okay, sure. But then you just run the risk of Inoue's just a better inside fighter. Okay. However, in defense of Sam, that is true for Naoya Inoue, but in defense of Sam, well, his punches are not going to have full steam because they're going to be shorter punches. So there you go. That's another one for Sam. He would be physically bigger, which he is, and Inoue is not going to have full extension on his punches, which he won't. Okay, so that's something for Sam. I just don't think he's going to be able to keep up with the pace of Inoue on the inside. But if you're big enough and you're strong enough to manhandle him and wrestle him around and kind of bully him around, I haven't seen Sam enough up close and personal to say that he's comfortable there, and I definitely haven't seen Sam enough to say that he would do that. It takes a certain type of mentality, like a Sean Porter, like, no, I'm going to muscle you around. I'm going to bully you around. I'm going to push you around. Not everybody's like that. Conor Benn, he would physically bully you around. But not everybody does that. So I don't know if he's going to do that. I certainly don't think he's shown in the past that he's willing to do that. I think he understands where his bread and butter is, and that's on the outside. He is a classical boxer. He fights off the jab, and he's always circling around. Or he'll feel very comfortable and move forward, which I don't necessarily think that's the smartest thing for him to do in this particular fight. Now we look at Naoya Inoue, and anywhere he fights, I think he's going to be dangerous. Anywhere he fights, I think he has a real understanding of what he's doing and where he's doing it. On the outside, you don't want Inoue because Sam Goodman is not a high-paced guy. And I've always said, if you're going to fight Inoue, you have to be a high-paced guy. You have to. You have to be a high-paced guy. Because if you let somebody that intelligent in the ring, if you allow him to think, that's going to be your downfall. That's going to be your downfall. You can't allow somebody that intelligent to think. You can't do that. So on the outside, I think it's both guys' bread and butter, but then we would have to go to experience, which would be Inoue. Then we'd have to go to punch output, which would be Inoue. Then we'd have to go to power, which would be Inoue. So it just doesn't benefit Sam at all to fight Naoya Inoue at distance at all. It doesn't benefit him in any area because he's not going to have some high punch output. He's not going to do that, and he's not going to bring the pressure. And I think there's a real important mental aspect of this fight between the two guys. You have to understand walking in, I'm going to get hit. I'm going to get hit frequently, and I'm going to get hit frequently hard. Now, if you're okay with that, march forward. But the way Sam fights, I think he's tough. I mean, I haven't seen one Australian that wasn't tough. So, yeah, he's tough. But he's been tough with guys that he's been masterclassing. It's not going to be a masterclass. Let's just say Sam Goodman wins. It ain't going to be no masterclass. He's going to have to fight. And when it comes down to a fight, I got my money on Naoya Inoue, the monster. So let's see. Durability. Who's more durable? I just said I haven't really seen Sam Goodman in any wars. I have seen Inoue down, and then I've seen Inoue get up and mop the floor of the other guy's face. I've seen that, I think, twice now. I've seen it. I've seen Inoue get hit, and then he mops the floor. He cleans the whole canvas with this guy's face. I've seen it. He's a durable guy. Okay, you put him down, but what are you going to do when he gets back up? That's the question. What are you going to do when this guy gets back up to his feet? Because you better believe he's about to take it up a notch. If you put him down, when he gets back to his feet, he's taking it to the roof, the top floor. What are you going to do? I've seen Sam cut. Yeah, I think he's been cut. Correct me if he hasn't, but I believe he's been cut. But, that's some adversity. But Inoue's been there as well. I think if you fight, I don't think it's the most unusual thing to see your own blood. Even if it isn't a cut or just a bloody nose or a cut lip or something like that, I don't think it's the most unusual thing to see your own blood. But I got to give durability to the monster. Like I said, I've seen him down, and then I've seen what happens to his opponents when he gets back up. I can't say the same thing for Sam Goodman. That's not to say he doesn't possess it. It's just that I haven't witnessed it as of yet. And maybe this is the fight. Who knows? But as of now, because I haven't seen it, I got to give it to the monster. Cardio. I think they both have solid cardio. They both have solid cardio. Sam Goodman can fight. He can fight 12 rounds, no problem. Inoue can fight 12 rounds, no problem. The difference between the two is the caliber of opponents that they've been fighting. That's the difference. So technically, yes, I could give this a tie. But because of the caliber of opponents that they've fought, I can't give it a tie. I have to give it to the monster because he's fought better opponents. If you fight better opponents and you're still fresh in 8, 9, and 10, I got to give it to you. Versus if you're fighting the B League and you're still fresh 8, 9, 10, well, you should. You're fighting the B League. I'm sorry. You're fighting the B League. So, yeah, got to give it to the monster for cardio. Danger, my favorite category. You already know. Danger. Let's see. Who's more dangerous? Is it the monster or is it Sam Goodman? The monster. Like, come on. Like, look at their names. You know what I'm saying? Again, 2-time undisputed world champion. 2 times. He beat up the top guys in his weight class. A lot of these guys were undefeated. He beat those guys. And they had belts. They had straps. It wasn't like they were nobodies. They were champions. He beat champions who didn't have blemishes on their record. The monster. He puts guys down. The monster. He finishes guys. The monster. I like Sam Goodman. But, maybe I just, in my heart of hearts, I'm like, maybe you should have had another fight or two. Maybe you should have had another fight with a really, really tough guy. Maybe you should have had another fight with a really, really tough guy. Or 2 really, really tough guys. Because when I look at the caliber of opponents that the 2 guys have faced, you haven't faced anything like this, man. And I can't consciously say that you're ready for this man. Because I don't think you are. I think this will be tactically a very good fight. Tactically. Up until about round 5. Around round 5, things are going to change. because Inoue is going to apply that pressure. He's going to see what Sam has going for him. He's going to realize Sam isn't ready, or not Sam isn't ready. Sam isn't willing to step into deep water. And Inoue is going to make that switch and say, well, I am. And it's going to be a different game, probably from 4 on. It's going to be a different game. And I don't necessarily see a stoppage. Like I said, Australians are tough. So I'm not going to lie. I don't see a stoppage. But what I do see is Sam's corner saying, not today, buddy. You fought valiantly, but this doesn't need to continue. That's what I see. This doesn't need to continue. It's clear he's dominating you, and we love you too much to send you back out there. That's what I see. Drop your thoughts down below.